What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be smoking a beautiful tri-tip. Tri-tip is one of the most delicious steaks you can get. It's commonly a West Coast steak, but now it's pretty readily available all over the country. This is a great steak to grill. Throw it in some marinade, grill hot and fast, get it up to your desired temp. I usually like medium rare, so I'll take it to about 130. But there's also another option for cooking the tri-tip, and that is like a brisket. Yes, that's correct. You can cook this like a brisket with very similar results to a brisket. So you're gonna put it in the smoker, let it get up to about 160, 165 till it's got a nice bark on it. Pull it off, wrap it, bring it up to that 200-degree mark till it's probe tender. Just like you would be doing a brisket, and it comes out great. Got fantastic flavor. A lot of times I don't like doing that because this is such a great steak to grill. That being said, I love my brisket, and I'm not gonna go out and cook a 12, 14-pound brisket just for a couple people. It's just overkill. It's a lot of work. Sometimes you're craving that brisket flavor and you just want a little bit, you don't want this long cook. This is a perfect option for that. It's not a very expensive piece of meat. You get all that great brisket flavor, shorter time, and you don't have as much meat if you're just cooking for a few people. We got the offset smoker going with some oak wood in there. Delicious piece of tri-tip. I'm gonna be cooking this 225, 240, trying to maintain that temperature. So let's get this seasoned and out on the smoker. All right, so one thing I wanna point out on this tri-tip, if you haven't cooked one, is the grain structure kind of changes as it goes throughout the meat. You can see the grain right here is going in this direction, so you're gonna wanna cut it like this. But then over here, you can see it takes a little bit of a turn and it's going more like this. You have this grain going like that, this one going like that. So what you wanna do is cut it like that, trim it this way, and then trim it that way. Just a heads up. Let's get this seasoned. So today we're going super simple with this. Start off with some salt, get all the sides. Then we're gonna go on with some black pepper. And the last thing is some garlic powder. There we have it. Let's get this out on the smoker. All right, we got the pit up to about 225. Let's get this tri-tip on. Now I'm gonna be checking this about every hour, so I'll see you then. All right, so we're about 5 hours in on this tri-tip cook, and I think it's ready. Let's take a look. So every hour or so, I've been spritzing this thing with apple cider vinegar and water, but let's see what we got for a temp. Yep, so we're at about 165 right there. As you can see, this is the bark we're looking for. This is exactly what you want. Let's go ahead and get this off, wrapped up, and get it back on the smoker. All right, let's get that tri-tip wrapped up. All right, get yourself some foil. If you've seen any of my other videos, you know I like the foil boat method using butcher paper. Start off with a base of foil. Now go ahead and get your butcher paper. As you can see, this butcher paper just wants to roll up like that. What I like to do to flatten this out, go ahead and get something to hold it, and then spray it down with some apple cider vinegar and water mixture. This adds some nice moisture to the paper, but it also allows it to lay flat so you're not fighting with it curling over. Get yourself some beef tallow. Go ahead and lay down a nice amount of beef tallow. So let's get this tri-tip wrapped up so we can get it back on the smoker. Go ahead and lay that down there. Fold this butcher paper over. Go ahead and wrap that up nice. Might have some excess butcher paper here, not a problem. Go ahead and fold that like that, then fold this under here. Perfect, there we go. Take your foil, wrap it up. So we got that point section here. That was getting a little cooked, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap that nicely with this foil, cover that up, because we're going to want that point to get even more tender now. This method is nice because it's going to hold in all your juices. Perfect. Let's get this back on the smoker. When it gets to around the 200-degree mark, I'm going to start probing it for tenderness, so I will see you then. All right, guys, this tri-tip was wrapped up on the smoker for about 2.5 hours. I got to 200 degrees, pulled it off, let it rest. Here she is. Let's unwrap this thing and slice into it. All right, let's unwrap this thing, see how it looks. A little bit of juice. Ooh, smells delicious. Let's slice into this. And like I said, remember, we got the grains running this way for most of it, but then this way they kind of turn. So what I want to do, slice it right here. Look at that. Phenomenal. Look at the smoke ring we got going on here. Just like a brisket. This is what we're looking for. You want that brisket flavor. You don't want to do the long cook. This took us 6 or 7 hours. Small piece of meat. Let's go ahead and get some slices off this. All right, let's go ahead and slice into this now. And there we have it. Look at all this delicious tri-tip. Look at the smoke ring we got on here. Super tender, just like a brisket. Look at this. I mean, you want a brisket? It's obviously not going to be as juicy as a brisket. This is more like the lean cut of the brisket. But if you're looking for that brisket flavor, and you don't want to spend all the money on a big brisket, and you're just feeding a couple people, tri-tip's not a bad option. It's nice. Now, let's give this a try. So good. Want to take some of that juice. Dump that on over. Let's try that. Oh my God. Yeah, man, this is good stuff, guys. This is really good. It's got a more steaky flavor than brisket. Not as tender as that fatty section of the brisket, but it's very similar to the lean section of the brisket. Awesome idea. If you want some brisket, go ahead and cook this tri-tip up like this. I'm not done yet. I'm gonna show you a great recipe for this. So let's get this out of the way. All right. So I got here some King's Hawaiian rolls, and I just went ahead and cut this right in half. Now, let's just take some of this tri-tip, lay it on down here. Delicious slices of tri-tip. All right, that looks pretty good like that. Now, so I caramelized a little bit of onion. Go ahead and throw that on there. This is gonna be good. Now go ahead and just spread these onions around nice. Then I got some shredded Monterey Jack and sprinkle some of this on here. It's gonna be some delicious smoked tri-tip sliders. We're not messing around here. All right, now go ahead and get your top. Lay that right on there. The last thing, I melted some butter with some fresh pressed garlic, rosemary, and thyme. Go ahead, just brush that right on top. There we have it. So I got my smoker up to 300 degrees. I'm gonna throw this on there, let it go for about 20 minutes. I'll see you when this is done. And here we are. Our sliders are done. Go ahead and cut into these. Oh yeah, these look delicious. If you guys could smell the garlic, the thyme, the rosemary, delicious. Look at that. Does that not look good or what? Let's give this a try. All right guys, this smells phenomenal. I need to give this a try. Cheers. Wow, this is delicious. Wow, incredible. I can't believe how good that is. I'm gonna eat this whole thing. It's like one of the best steak sandwiches you could ever have. It's not cooked like a steak, it's cooked like a brisket, but it's still got that steak feel. The onions and the rosemary, thyme, garlic, butter finishes it off phenomenally. This is a great option for any sort of party you're throwing. Cook these up. Awesome flavors here. Please subscribe to be up to date on all my new videos. I'm going to have a bunch of good stuff coming out soon, so make sure you subscribe. You don't want to miss out what's coming up. Like the video, follow me on Instagram, all that good stuff. Till next time, get out there, cook something like this. Phenomenal. See you next time.